Microphone check. Make sure. Recording. Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three, testing. Testing, testing. One, two, three, testing. Testing, testing. One, two, three, testing, testing. Testing, testing. One, two, three, testing. Testing, testing. One, two, three, testing. Three-man product session. Personal introduce. Oh, that's right. Image. Read aloud. Recording. My name is Ryan, and I take the test for the apply for the for visa for 85. Visa. I taken the test for applying visa for 85. Any interest? No, I don't have any interest. Practice. Okay, let's go. Your subject outline. Your subject outline are a good place to go to find the information about the textbook to buy. You will usually given one of the, but if you are missing one, your subject outline are a good place to find the information about. Your subject outline are a good place to find the information about your subject outline are a good place to find a good place to go to find information. Your subject outline are a good place to find to go and find information about. Yes, this landscape is have been home for thousands of years of indigenous Australian. Hai, hai, bốn, sáu, tám, 10, 12. For whom the plant has been home for thousands of years to indigenous Australians to whom the plant had been a home for thousands of years to indigenous for had been a home for the thousands of years of to indigenous Australians to whom the plains. The term voice and text are multifaceted. The home the voice and text are multifaceted. You may encounter two words used variety of ways. Hai, bốn, sáu, tám. In connection, you may encounter the two words used in various. You may encounter the word. You may encounter two words used variety of ways. You may encounter the two words used in a variety of ways in connection. A major, a major conversation issue is a battle to start with a population of only 30 million living in the world largest. Within the with a population with a population of just only 30 million living in the world's second largest with a population of just only over one over 30 million living in the world second largest with a population of just only over 130 million over living years old. Huh? The majority of the world's poorest people live in the rural area of the developing country. The majority of the world's poorest people live in the rural area of the developing country. The majority of the world's poorest people live in the rural area. The majority of the world's poorest people live in the rural area of the developing country. The majority of people the majority of the world's poorest people live in the rural area of the developing countries. In the past, war have led inflation, flight disruptions, random raw material. 3, 6, 9, 12. In the past, war have led inflation. War have left wars wars have led to inflation and higher commodity prices, higher commodity prices. In the past, war have led to inflation and higher commodity prices. Modern business have to adaptable to something or survive.
Applicants for the course should preferably have a degree in English or journalism.
Applicant for the course should have the journalism degree. What's going on to have the patient to leave the fear at the door? As the 1830 is something in a large American number.
The computer crashed and I hadn't saved my work.
I can hear the grass and haven't say my words. His supervisor was them last night.
You should inquire about direct deposit.
You have to increase about the direct deposit.
Just wait a minute, I'll be with you shortly.
Just wait a minute, I will be sure with you shortly.
You must include your name and identity number on the registration form.
You should include your name and identity number in your form. The judge showed the percentage of the something number. The photo provided information about the teaching career as career offers. Overall, is the evidence that teaching who find it teacher who find teaching certificate career is the popular category in the photo. The maximum value is 95% belong to teacher who find teaching certificate career. Minimum value is just 1% is belong to the final year student. The photo provided information about the teaching career. Overall, it is the evidence that the teacher who find the teaching a certified career is the common photo in the photo. Looking more closer to the detail, I can see here a lot of interesting information. The maximum value I can see here is 95%, which belongs to the teacher who find teaching the certified career, where it's much higher than the minimum value which belongs to the final year planning to teaching career. In conclusion, the photo provides information about the teaching as a career. The photo provides information about educational pay. Doctoral degree have the highest. Doctoral degree, doctoral degree have the highest pay. Doctoral degree have the highest pay. The maximum value which is the maximum will achieve below to associate degree, employment grade. The photo provides information about the education pace. Overall, it is evident that the photo provides information about the doctoral degree have the highest pay in the year. Looking more closer to the detail, I can see here the maximum value, which is 5 below to the associate degree regarding to unemployment rate in the 2007. The minimum below to the doctoral rate, which is 1.4%. In conclusion, the photo provides information about educational pace. Ủa sao tự nhiên bị panic vậy? The photo provides information about barrier to visit the museum at the light. The photo provides information about barrier to visit museum or art gallery. The photo provides information about the barrier to visiting the museum and the art galleries. Overall, it is evident that the lack of time is the most common reason for the photo. Looking more closer to the detail, I can see a lot of interesting information. The maximum value I can see here with the 60% belongs to the lack of time. It's much higher than the minimum value which belongs to the lack of information about the event, it's just only 10. Another detail I can see here not available locally, it's just only 30. In conclusion, the photo provides information about the barriers to visiting museums and art galleries. What is Sweden? In the middle, I can see the pink color. The pink color is very popular. On the right hand side, I can see green, which belong to the French. French. In the right hand side, I can see the yellow color, which belong to Italian. And I see also the green on the right hand side as well. The photo provides information about The photo provides information about the Switzerland languages. In overall, it is evident that the Switzerland languages is the main reason of the photo. Looking more closer to the detail, I can see here a lot of interesting information. Right in the middle, I can see here the pink color, which belongs to the German. The left-hand side of the photo, I can see here the green color, which belongs to the French. On the right-hand side of the color, I can see here the yellow color belongs to Italian. In conclusion, the photo provides information about the Switzerland languages. The photo of the volunteer rate 8, volunteer rate 8, volunteer rate 8, volunteer rate 8, male higher, the number, here number, the maximum 50, the minimum 30. 40, 30. They provide the information about the volunteering rate at 8. Overall, it is evident that the photo provides the information about the volunteer rate. Looking more closer to the detail, I can see here the male is the most popular group in the photo. Regarding to the male, I can see here the maximum value is 50% belong to the 35 to 44, which much higher than the minimum value, which is the only 30, which belong to 18 to 24. In conclusion, the photo provides information about the volunteer rate at 8. Lecture.
To begin with, how underfunded is UK higher education? The table shows the proportion of gross domestic product spent on institutions by the main OECD countries for the latest year, for which we have statistics, 2001. It shows that UK spending, public and private, on higher education institutions was at 1.08%, well below the OECD mean of 1.34% of GDP. The table clearly shows that the UK is in the bottom 5 countries of the 20 in the table in terms of public expenditure on tertiary education, its spending being proportionately equal to that of Italy and Mexico. At the other end of the table, we see that Denmark and Finland allocate most public money to tertiary education, spending twice as high a proportion of GDP on it as does the UK.
The lecture was mainly about the expenditure on educational institutions as a percentage of GDP in European countries. Overall, it is evident that the lecture is about the interesting topic. Uh, looking more closer to the detail, I can see here. Firstly, the speaker emphasized on the UK spending in higher education is high. Secondly, he believed that yeah, the UK spending account for 3% of GDP. Finally, he mentioned about the Denmark and Finland spend higher than the UK. In conclusion, the lecturer provided information about the expenditure on educational institutions.
So let me begin with the notion of a dimension. The dimension is simply how many numbers that you need to specify a location. So if we think about the surface of the Earth, the equator is one dimension. You need to specify only one number to specify a location on the equator, namely the longitude. The surface of the Earth altogether is, of course, two-dimensional. You need to specify two numbers, a latitude and longitude, to specify a location on the Earth. The space above the Earth is three-dimensional. If I want to tell you the location of a hang glider, I need to give you the latitude, longitude, and altitude. But mathematically, there's no reason to stop at three dimensions. A four-dimensional space is simply a space in which you need to specify four numbers to specify a location in that space. A five-dimensional space would be one in which you need to specify five numbers, etc. In fact, I claim you already know an example of a four-dimensional space. So let's define an event just to be an occurrence that happens in a small region of space at a definite time. In other words, an event is like the snap of your fingers or a clap of your hands. And now the collection of all events, if I want to specify an event, I need to give you four numbers. I need to tell you where it happens in space and when it happens in time.
The lecture woman is about the dimension. The lecture woman is about the dimension. The lecture woman is about. The lecture provided information about the dimension. Overall, it is evident that the topic is very interesting. Looking more closer to the detail, I can hear. Firstly, the speaker emphasized on dimension we use to specify the location. Secondly, he believed that using two numbers like the longitude and latitude due to the problem of location. Finally, he also emphasized on for the four-dimensional space, we use four numbers. In conclusion, the lecture provided information about the dimensions.
The terms circumference, diameter, and radius refer most commonly to which geometric shape?
Rectangle.
Who prepares and sells medicine in a shop or hospital?
Nurse.
Where on a college campus would a periodicals collection be located?
Nothing.
What part of a guitar do you strum with your fingers?
Finger.
What official document protects the creator's rights to his or her invention?
Nothing. Group discussion.
A group of 3 students are discussing ideas about how to make their campus more environmentally friendly.
So, I've been thinking a lot about the environment lately, and that we should be looking at how to make the campus greener. We've got recycling bins for cardboard and cans, but that's only scratching the surface, and we could be a lot more proactive. I've heard that ink and printer cartridges can nearly always be recycled, so that could be one starting point.
Yeah, and don't forget batteries too. All the raw materials can be extracted from them for the manufacturers to reuse. So you're conserving energy, reducing pollution, and helping the economy. You know, that's another thing we could be doing. But what can we do to encourage students to actually try and recycle more? It'd be good if we could offer some incentive.
What if we asked the university to do a competition to get students to design some kind of artwork promoting recycling? I reckon people would be up for that. But, what would the winners get? I think we need to draw people in somehow, create a buzz and get them talking about it, and then actually doing the recycling.
Maybe the winner's artwork could be displayed on the university website homepage and in the main building foyer. And then, in practical terms, we'd also need more allocated drop off points for recyclable items. I mean, at the moment, there aren't very many places for people to recycle stuff, so it just goes into the regular garbage.
Yeah, great idea about displaying the artwork in a place everyone can see it. And maybe for the first couple of weeks after the new recycling points have been introduced, we can get a group of volunteers in those fluorescent yellow high visibility jackets to hand out flyers or just let people know about them.
Yes. Well, we need it to become a habit so that the next time a student has some cardboard or paper to recycle, they remember to take their used ink cartridges or batteries with them too.
And we can pass the info about the competition and the recycling points to those 2 final year students who do that really popular weekly podcast for the campus. We could also ask them to build in a regular time slot to talk more about the environment and being greener on the campus to keep the dialogue going. We don't want to lose momentum. There's always the danger that we have a couple of months of change and then we all go back to how we were before.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. They're great, those 2 podcasters. I know loads of people who listen to them. There'll also be others who listen to their podcasts who can offer good ideas about other steps we can take. So that should hopefully help maximize our chances of reaching as many students as possible.
For the lecture, the group discussion was mainly about how to make the campus more greener. The group discussion directories over is the The group discussion was mainly about how to make the campus more greener. Overall, it is evident that the group discussion topic is very interesting. There are 3 speakers in the discussions. Regarding looking more closer to the detail, I can hear firstly, the first speaker they tried to emphasize that we could make the protective to recycle. Secondly, he believed that all materials should be extracted from the later use. Finally, he believed that offer some incentive for the university student is crucial. Regarding to the second speaker, I can hear firstly he mentioned about create a say recycling activities. Secondly, he mentioned about the display information on the website and foyer. Secondly, and finally as well, he mentioned he make the point that to get a group more volunteering of the student. Regarding to third speaker, I can hear a lot of interesting information. Firstly, he mentioned about the build habit is most important. Secondly, he mentioned that he believed that past the competition information to the fourth year student to make the postcard. And finally, he mentioned about the keep competition going. In conclusion, the group discussion will discuss about how to make the campus more greener. Group
A group of
discussion.
3 students are discussing their university accommodations.
Have you sorted out your university accommodation yet? I heard that you're going to stay in the university hall this year. What made you go for that?
Well, first I like the fact that it's all inclusive and I don't have to worry about anything. Bills, cleaning, or dealing with landlords and all the problems that comes with renting. Also, sharing a flat with other students is loads of fun.
Maybe, but you know that it's really the luck of the draw who you end up living with. Sorry to disappoint you, but there's no guarantee you'll live with any of your friends even if you book together as a group and request to stay together. Don't you mind that you have no control whatsoever over who you're going to share your accommodation with?
I don't mind being placed with people I've never met before. In fact, in a way, I actually kind of like it. I love getting to know new people, widening the circle of my friends. That's one of the benefits of living on the university campus, isn't it?
Well, if you say so, that's definitely not for me. I don't like being thrown in the deep end and not having any control over the people I'll be living with. Plus, having to put up with their mess and noise on a daily basis? Ugh! I had enough of that last year. So I'm going to rent a flat with one of my mates.
That's a bold move. Are you sure about that? Have you thought about all the bills you'll have to pay? And also, maintaining the property is going to be your responsibility. You'll have to do all the cleaning, too. I think campus accommodation is the best. I want to hang out with people and go to lots of events, and living on campus is going to make it easier.
I've decided to go for a shared flat. I prefer living with people who have the same habits. You know, I come from a quiet home, and the idea of having loads of people around constantly is kind of irritating. I might do it next year, but not now. I don't mind managing the bills because I like the independence and flexibility I get in return.
So you guys are giving up living very close to university, and you're prepared to pay more to be on your own. Plus, there's the cost of public transport.
Sure, but with my own place, I get a bit more space. I don't really fancy having a tiny room feeling cramped. True, I might have to go a bit further away from campus to get a cheaper rent, but I don't mind that at all. I'm planning to buy a cheap bike and cycle to class, so I'll get my daily dose of exercise.
The group discussion were mainly about a university accommodation. The group discussion were mainly about a university accommodation. Overall, it is evident that the topic of group discussion is very interesting. Overall, I can hear there are three speakers in the conversation along the conversation. Regarding to the first speaker, firstly, he mentioned about don't worry about anything in the university accommodation. Secondly, he believed that worry about the one who live with is very crucial for him. Second, finally, he emphasized on the no control on the people who to live with in the university accommodations. Regarding to the second speaker, he also shared some interesting point. For example, firstly, he mentioned about meeting new people in combat is the benefit. Secondly, he believed that mess up the building is the major concern of him. The final point is that the maintain and cleaning the building is also the problem. Regarding to the third speaker, I can hear a lot of interesting information from him. Secondly, firstly, he emphasized share flag with the people with same habit is good. Secondly, he believed that managing review is crucial, and and finally, he believed that want to more space and to take an exercise. In conclusion, the lecture provided information about the university accommodation.
One of your friends from school is going away to start university next week. She's excited, but sad to say goodbye. Some of you are discussing ideas for a present to give her for her new apartment. What would you suggest to them?
How to just say to them, "Hi, how are you going? I hope you are doing well. I wish I said one of my friend way of my friend going away to study next week. She excited, but like, hi, how are you going? I hope you are doing well. I'm happy to share the situation here as well. One of my friend going to the university right now, and we will start the university in next week. She's so excited, but she's sad to say goodbyes, and she also have the new apartment as well. So in this case, I would like to recommend her to buy the gift for him. Thank you for understand my situation."
You have decided that you don't want to take the course in
Tôi ta nói
mechanical
con này cái
engineering.
nè,
Your friend has
tôi
dropped a
the
course
course and
recently.
everything.
You want your
Why
friend to
to
tell
tell
you
to
the correct procedure
correct
to follow,
correct
and when the
procedure,
deadline is,
correct
gets a
procedure.
tuition
I
refund.
want to know the correct
What's to
procedure to
say?
follow. I want to know the correct procedure for to follow with the deadline and when the deadline is getting for the tuition refund. Hi, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. So I'm happy to share the situation here right now. So you have decided you don't have to take the course, the mechanical engineering, and my train has dropped the course recently. So in this case, I want my friend to tell you about the correct procedure to follow and when the deadline to get in the tuition fee refund. Thank you for understand my situation.